left to go. And yeah, I will be retiring in a few years, so it makes sense to plan ahead.
Come on, Mary.
That's why I decided to learn more about over 50s life insurance from Cover Today. Look, the kids don't need the money, but it's nice to leave something to help with funeral costs and other expenses, so they can spend their money on nicer things. Cover Today are the only over 50s life insurer with no waiting period, unlike other insurers who could make you wait up to 2 years for full cover. With Cover Today, you're fully covered from day one. Come on! And you're covered for the whole of your life, so you can just get on with things. Plus, unlike other things in life, the price never goes up. Their claims process is really straightforward, so your loved ones will be looked after. Learning more couldn't be simpler and can be done in just a few minutes. Go online or talk to one of their friendly UK team who will chat you through your options in just one phone call.
Cover Today are the only over 50s life insurer with no waiting period. Get covered in minutes with no annoying trips to the doctor. With fixed monthly payments, prices start at just £4.42 a month. Plus, you get your choice of a £125 gift card.
So stop putting it off and get it sorted. That way you can get on with doing something much more interesting.
To find out more about Cover Today, call our friendly UK team on 0800 977 6552 or visit covertoday.co.uk.
When I woke up, they said, Alyssa, you've got leukemia. We found out that the chemo wasn't working. So at that point, it was like, I'm gonna die. My consultant was looking for these clinical trials, and she found this one at Great Ormond Street. I'm cancer-free now.
Curing Alyssa was a world first, but cancer is still the biggest killer of children in the UK. Will you help us do more? Search Gosh Care to give £3 a month and help build a new children's cancer centre at Great Ormond Street Hospital, a home for breakthrough research with world-class facilities to help beat cancer for more children. Together, with your kind support, we can help save lives and transform children's cancer care for decades to come. Text CARE to 70125 to give £3 a month and help build our new children's cancer centre. Together, we can beat cancer for more children.
We know travel can be confusing. That's why I use travelup.com. Once booked, you can change, cancel, and get refunds, all online with just a few clicks. And while you're away, TravelUp has you covered. Get your gate number directly to your phone. And get this, TravelUp will even automatically process your compensation claims if your flight has been delayed or disrupted. Book now on travelup.com or call 0207 580 5000. TravelUp. Flights, hotels, holidays.
Sometimes it's not time for some tombola. It's enjoying lasagna time. Or time to visit your nan time. Put the phone down.
That's wonderful. You know,
This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV 24/7.
Thanks for staying with NDTV. You're watching the Wednesday edition of the World Report. I'm Arjun, Samar, Mahendran. Let's take a look at what's making headlines around the globe. India's Operation Sindoor global outreach has officially kicked off with the first of 7 all-party delegations, in fact, led by Shiv Sena MP Shrikant Shinde, heading to the UAE. The 59-member delegation, cutting across party lines, mind you, will travel to 32 countries and the European Union to present, in fact, India's firm stance against terrorism. Now, this diplomatic mission follows the Indian Armed Forces cross-border strike, or Operation Sindoor, after the dastardly Pahalgam terror attack last month on the 22nd of April. In fact, now each group is armed with dossiers, in fact, detailing Pakistan's role in global terror networks, and it aims to rally international support against cross-border terrorism. Meanwhile, my colleague Shiv Arur joins us to unpack and also underline the very importance of this unprecedented diplomatic reach out. Shiv, if you can hear me, now as leaders across party lines speak in one voice, we've seen, how is this effort, in fact, going to hit the nail in the head, when it comes to exposing, in fact, Pakistan's double game internationally?
These MP delegations fanning out to different parts of the world are very much part of Operation Sindoor. What was visible so far was the military action, the kinetic action where India had imposed its will on Pakistan, pinning it down and dragging it virtually to the ceasefire table. But work isn't over yet. And as Prime Minister Modi said, Operation Sindoor has only paused. It's obviously tempting to look at Sindoor as only a military operation. But these MPs, are part of a national mission by themselves, parallel to the Indian military. They're going out into the world to emphasize India's, role and its commitment to its allies, to its friends, to its partners in the international community, to brief them about how things have really changed, to fill in the gaps of some of the questions that many of these countries may have. Because remember, as far as diplomatic support is concerned, even though India had overwhelming solidarity from all of its friends and every major country, of course, apart from Pakistan and China and Turkey, there were some misgivings in terms of certain countries trying to hyphenate India and Pakistan, to equidistance from India and Pakistan in an effort to de-escalate things. So these MPs have an important mission. It's not going to be an easy one. There will be many countries that will have some tricky questions as far as Operation Sindoor is concerned, but they've been briefed and they're ready.
So thank you so much for getting us the latest there, Shiv. Now, continuing with the same story, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar, in fact, met Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen in Copenhagen on Tuesday, reaffirming India's commitment to its unique green strategic partnership with Denmark. Now, Dr. Jaishankar also conveyed PM Modi's personal greetings and thanked Denmark for its support in combating terrorism. Now, the two leaders also discussed regional and global security challenges. The meeting comes ahead of India-Nordic summit in Norway later this year, in fact, where the External Affairs Minister will represent New Delhi in place of PM Modi. Meanwhile, a multi-pronged boycott of Turkey as well as Azerbaijan, along with Pakistan, driven by sheer public sentiment in India and strengthened by social media campaigns, has had an economic and diplomatic impact already on these two countries. In fact, reports also state that the clamor to ban the import of even apples from Turkey, which supports Pakistan in its nefarious fight against, which supports Pakistan in India's fight against terrorism, continues to grow louder. Trade, travel and brands are being phased out. Shifting focus to India and Asia, the larger Asian continent, the recent surge in COVID-19 cases in some of the Asian countries, now these include Singapore, Thailand, China, and also in Hong Kong, has in fact rung an alarm bell in India as well. Now, this comes as new cases of the infection have started to come to the fore recently. According to statistics displayed on the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare's website, India has 257 active COVID cases at present, with Kerala leading the tally at 95, followed by Tamil Nadu at 66 and Maharashtra with 56 active COVID cases. Meanwhile, Karnataka has also registered 13 COVID cases. New Delhi, Gujarat, Haryana and Sikkim have single-digit active cases at present as well. US President Donald Trump has announced plans for a futuristic new missile defense system he terms the Golden Dome. He selected a design for the $175 billion Golden Dome missile defense shield and named a Space Force general to head the ambitious program aimed at blocking threats from China and Russia. Now, this system aims to, in fact, intercept threats ranging from ballistic and cruise missiles all the way to space-based weapons using land, sea and space-based technology. It's modeled partly on Israel's Iron Dome, but also designed to tackle a much broader range of threats, including hypersonic missiles as well. Meanwhile, President Trump has said that the system will be operational by the end of his presidency, with an initial $25 billion investment and eventual cost projected to run over $500 billion US. Here's more.
In the campaign, I promised the American people that I would build a cutting-edge missile defense shield to protect our homeland from the threat of foreign missile attack. And that's what we're doing. Today, I'm pleased to announce that we have officially selected an architecture for this state-of-the-art system that will deploy next-generation technologies across the land, sea, and space, including space-based sensors and interceptors.
Italy has said that it's ready to support a proposal backed by US President Donald Trump for the Vatican to in fact mediate peace in talks in Ukraine. Now, PM Giorgia Meloni's office said it welcomes the Pope's willingness to in fact host negotiations at the Holy See, though no formal plans are yet in place. Meanwhile, Ukraine appears open to the idea, while Russia reportedly prefers to continue talks in Turkey's Istanbul. Meanwhile, Donald Trump has suggested the Vatican as a neutral venue, but actual progress remains stalled as Moscow insists still on conditions Kiev firmly rejects. And the European Union has lifted key economic sanctions on Syria just days after the US did the same in a move seen as backing the country's new leadership. The EU Forward Perspective has said that the goal is to aid Syria's recovery and support a more inclusive future. This, as some restrictions remain, the shift allows Syrian banks to reconnect to global systems. In fact, meanwhile, the bloc also warns, however, that it could reimpose sanctions if promises to protect minorities and also upholding democratic reforms are broken. US Secretary of State Marco Rubio has warned that Syria could be just weeks away from a full-scale civil war following fresh waves of deadly sectarian violence across the country. Now, Rubio backed President Donald Trump's recent move to in fact lift sanctions on the war-torn country to allow aid to reach the transitional government, now led by former al-Qaeda commander Ahmad al-Shara. Despite promises to protect minorities, nearly 1,500 people have died in recent clashes already. The fragile peace is under pressure, and Washington has said that urgent international support, in fact, is needed to prevent Syria's total collapse. The World Health Organization, or the WHO, has secured over $170 million in pledges from countries including China, Qatar, and Switzerland to offset the financial blow, in fact, from the US's planned exit. Washington, formerly the agency's largest donor, is pulling out after President Trump criticized the body. Meanwhile, Chief Tedros has said that the new funds will preserve life-saving programs as reforms continue within the organization. Meanwhile, China has emerged as the likely top donor, and member states have agreed to raise their own contributions to stabilize the agency's budget through 2028. And former US President Joe Biden's prostate cancer diagnosis is sparking renewed scrutiny over his health during his final months in office. In the latest, doctors have said that the aggressive cancer may have gone undetected for years, while critics allege a lack of transparency from the former president. Meanwhile, US President Donald Trump has suggested a possible cover-up here, while a Biden aide insists no diagnosis existed before Friday. The revelations come alongside reports that senior aides also concede signs of Biden's physical decline ahead of the 2024 polls. Finance ministers from the G7 are meeting in Canada to coordinate plans for restoring global growth and stability. Canadian Finance Chief François-Philippe Champagne has said that the talks, in fact, will tackle economic overcapacity, non-market practices, and also financial crimes. Meanwhile, tensions between US tariffs are expected to persist, with President Trump pushing allies to confront China's economic model. Bilateral talks with Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent are underway in Banff as the group works to navigate ongoing global challenges. Meanwhile, my colleague Maha Siddiqui gets you this exclusive report and unpacks what's happening straight from Vancouver.
The G7 finance ministers are meeting in Banff in Canada ahead of the G7 summit next month that Canada is hosting. Ahead of the three-day meeting, the Canadian Finance Minister François-Philippe Champagne indicated that there could be tension on the table because of Trump tariffs that threaten to destabilize the global economy even as it continues to struggle after COVID-19. However, he expressed hope that when it comes to discussions around economic stability, then they will have fruitful discussions with the US. The Trump administration is being represented by the US Treasury Secretary. Though at the moment, there is no clarity on whether the specific issue of tariffs imposed by the US administration will come up for discussion, because some of the other G7 countries have indicated that they would rather have negotiations with the United States directly, that is bilaterally, and address some of the concerns that US has with regards to trade imbalances. However, specifically for Canada, as it hosts the G7 summit, the issue of tariffs and the economic coercion from the United States is a critical and an important one. And that message has been conveyed by Canada in several ways to the G7 countries, including the fact that when the countries, that is the G7 countries, need to come together to look at other issues as well, which is finding peace in conflict-ridden areas and to stop hostilities in Ukraine and in Gaza, then working together is imperative, and the Trump tariffs could cause a hurdle in that. Meanwhile, other issues like artificial intelligence would also come up during the finance ministers' meeting, and this will set the tone and the agenda for the summit in June.
Indian writer Banu Mushtaq has made history, this by becoming the first Kannada language author to in fact win the International Booker Prize. Her anthology, Heart Lamp, featuring stories about struggles of Muslim women in southern India to be particular, was praised for its quiet power and emotional depth. Now, the book was translated into English by Deepa Bhasti. Mushtaq's win marks a major moment, in fact, for regional Indian literature on the global stage. Her deeply personal stories, viewers, reflect a lifetime of resilience, activism, and literary excellence as well. Meanwhile, my colleague Poonam gets you this very special report.
Banu Mushtaq's short story collection, Heart Lamp, is originally written in Kannada, and it's a moment of pride for India that for the first time a Kannada writer has received this prestigious award, the International Booker Award. This is also the second time that India has received such an honor. Earlier in 2022, Hindi writer Geetanjali Shree won the International Booker Prize for her novel Tomb of Sand. The English translation of her Hindi novel Red Samadhi, translated by Daisy Rockwell. Banu Mushtaq winning the Booker Prize is a historic moment for Indian literature. It has enhanced the global reputation of Indian languages. This award gives new hope and recognition to writers working in regional languages. At the same time, it highlights the diversity and depth of Indian literature on a global platform. Banu Mushtaq's Heart Lamp is a collection of 12 short stories focusing on tragedies and struggles of Muslim women. These stories have been translated by Deepa Bhasti. So yes, this is a moment of pride for every Indian, and both Banu Mushtaq and translator Deepa Bhasti are the winners of this award.
And with that, it's time to step into a quick break. We'll be right back.
The legend Shri Anup Jalota ji is back. Samar Events UK presents Anup Jalota live in London. Travel partner Southall Travel. Get ready for an unforgettable night of soulful bhajans, ghazals and Bollywood melodies. The legendary Anup Jalota ji is coming to the Beck Theatre in Hayes on Sunday, the 25th of May, 2025. Book your seats now. Don't miss this once-in-a-lifetime musical evening. Radio partner Sunrise Radio.
If your garage looks like this, you need Tougher Man. A leading supplier of shelving for your home or business. Assembly is quick, easy and boltless. Buy one bay from just $59.99, or you can get 3 bays from only $119.99, saving you nearly £60. Plus you get a 5-year Storelex steel guarantee. Order now at tougherman.co.uk.
We all love a bargain, like these flatmates who switched to Vodafone and are now paying less for their full fibre broadband, which means they can still stream 2 shows at the same time. But for less. Still gaming with mates, but for less.
It's easy to switch to reliable full fibre broadband for less from Vodafone.
Welcome back. You're watching the Wednesday edition of the World Report. On to some business news now, with Google launching a new AI-powered search experience that in fact embeds chatbot capabilities directly into its main platform. The AI mode also aims to in fact give users conversational, expert-level responses while reducing the need to sift through multiple web pages like we have been. CEO Sundar Pichai has said that the shift marks a major evolution in search technology. That's not it. Google also teased a new AI-powered glasses, reigniting the push into smart wearables. Meanwhile, analysts have warned that the changes could very well reshape how tech giants earn revenue through this search. My colleague Parmeshwar Baba gets you this very special update.
What if your next Google search didn't just give you links, but gave you the answer, planned your trip, booked your tickets, and maybe even emailed your boss to tell them you're off to Bali? Sounds wild, right? Welcome to AI Mode, the biggest transformation of Google search in 25 years. You may have spotted it recently if you're not in India, a new tab in your search bar, AI Mode. Tap on it and you're no longer just searching, you're talking to Google's in-house AI brain. So think ChatGPT, but fused directly into the world's most powerful search engine. This isn't just a cosmetic upgrade. This is Google betting big on an AI-first future, and it starts now. At its last conference, Google revealed AI Mode is now being rolled out to all users in the US with plans to go global. But here's the real kicker. They're not just adding AI, they're rewriting the rulebook on what search even is. Nick Fox, who leads Google's knowledge products, put it bluntly. He said, we invented a lot of this stuff for search. He's talking about transformers, yes, the T in ChatGPT, which Google developed back in 2017. So what does this transformer tech do now? Well, with features like deep search, your query is broken into mini tasks, researched, and synthesized into a rich summary. Then there's Project Mariner, which is a digital agent that can browse, book, and buy on your behalf. There's also Search Live, which is, it interacts with search like you're FaceTiming a super intelligent assistant. Google is turning search into something agentic, not just reactive, but proactive. And yes, it can even access your Gmail and past searches if you let it, to make your results more you. Which brings us to the elephant in the server room. Is this the end of the classic blue links? Google's executives say not yet, but let's be honest, AI overviews, they're already replacing your top search results, and with 1.5 billion people seeing them monthly, the blue link is looking more like a relic of the dial-up era. Website publishers are worried. If Google answers everything on its page, then will you ever click through? But Google insists, meanwhile, this is expansion, not extinction. They claim users do still click, and when they do, it's more meaningful, but that's easy to say when you're actually the gatekeeper. So is AI Mode the future of search or the end of the open internet? Well, one thing is clear, the world's most influential tech company isn't asking for permission, it's flipping the switch. And soon, the biggest question won't be about what you search, it'll be about who is searching for you.
Tesla CEO Elon Musk has said that the company will launch its first robotaxi trial in Austin, Texas by the end of June this year. About 10 self-driving cars will hit the streets initially, with further plans to in fact scale up to 1,000 in the next coming months. The rollout comes as Tesla faces US safety investigations and slumping sales globally. Meanwhile, Musk has said that the full autonomy and Tesla's Optimus robots are the company's future as it shifts away from building lower-cost electric vehicles or EVs. NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang has called US export controls on AI chips to China a failure. Speaking at the Computex event in Taipei, Huang said that the curbs have backfired, prompting China to, in fact, accelerate domestic chip development and turn to local firms like Huawei. Now, the comments follow renewed tensions with China urging the US to halt what it calls discriminatory measures. Meanwhile, NVIDIA's market share in China has plunged from 95% to 50%, a dip of 45% there, viewers, since the Biden administration began implementing restrictions on chips. Meanwhile, Toyota has unveiled a revamped RAV4 featuring its new Arjun software platform, marking a key step towards software-defined vehicles. Now, the latest model will include updated multimedia, advanced safety features, and also cockpit voice control. The 6th generation RAV4 will roll out in major markets by 2026 March and will also include hybrid and plug-in hybrid versions as well. The company is also considering shifting more production to US to offset Trump's tariff pressures. Kenton Cool, a British climber who in fact scaled Mount Everest for the 19th time, breaking his own record in this case for the most ascents of the world's highest peak by a non-Sherpa guide, returned from the mountain on Tuesday. Now, Cool, who is 50 years old and is from England's southwest, scaled the 8,849 meter summit on Sunday. He said that he is already planning his next attempt. Listen in.
I don't know, I'm 51 now. I've been coming here since 2004 to climb Everest. I've got at least one more because I've got a client for next year. Maybe 2021. And then after that, I start climbing other mountains in Nepal. Mountaineering is an amazing sport which is open to everybody. But you just need to be part of it responsibly. And we see some people coming to Everest who perhaps don't have the experience that they should.
NFL players are now officially eligible to compete in the flag football at the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics. League owners have in fact voted in favor of the move as a meeting in Minnesota, removing the last major hurdle. Now the decision also opens the door for star athletes like Patrick Mahomes to represent the US on the Olympic stage. Meanwhile, Commissioner Roger Goodell called it an incredible honor and said players are excited to play for their country. Discussions will now focus on injury protections, playing conditions and scheduling logistics. Actor and comedian George Wendt, best known for playing Norm Peterson on the hit sitcom Cheers, has died at the age of 76. His family has said that he died peacefully in sleep at his home on Tuesday. Now, Wendt starred in all 275 episodes of Cheers, earning 6 Emmy nominations and becoming a fan favorite. He also appeared in films and TV shows like Forever Young and Sabrina the Teenage Witch. A tribute from the real-life career bar said, "You'll always have a stool at our bar." Wendt is survived by his wife and 3 children. The Cannes Film Festival is facing backlash after actor Kevin Spacey was honored at a charity gala with a Lifetime Achievement Award for his quote-unquote decades of artistic brilliance. The award came from the Better Fund, which noted that a civil sexual misconduct case against Spacey was dismissed back in 2022, that's 3 years ago, but fresh allegations surfaced just last year, which Spacey has denied. French director Rebecca Zlotowski's film Vie Privée, meaning a private life, received an 8-minute standing ovation at Cannes. The mystery stars Jodie Foster as a psychiatrist investigating a patient's suspicious death. Now, this is Foster's first French-language film since 2004, more than 21 years, and Zlotowski's debut French production. That's all on this edition of The World Report. I'll see you tomorrow. Meanwhile, have a wonderful day.
This summer, take on the 1 Million Step Challenge for Diabetes UK. Just over 10,000 steps a day, 3 months, one life-changing challenge. Step for a happier, healthier you. Step for your loved ones. Step for everyone affected by diabetes. From the 1st of July, pound the pavement. And every pound you raise will help fund life-changing research and support. Because when you move, we move for everyone living with diabetes. So sign up for the 1 Million Step Challenge. Just search Step for Diabetes and take that life-changing first step today.
Whatever you need to ask about cancer, Macmillan's free support line is just a call away.
Hello, Macmillan.
Whether it's money...
Am I going to lose my job?
Getting on with life.
Can I still go abroad? Get insurance?
Or just need someone to listen.
How do I tell them?
Our specialist advisors are here to help as often as you need them. Whatever you need to ask, cancer, money, life, call us now on 0808 134 1000.
Ladies and gentlemen, we found the reason why Britain hasn't been so great of late is because the country he hasn't been eating enough Weetabix. It makes sense. I've been eating croissants.
Me too. We should deliver Weetabix to where it's needed most, to whoever's in charge of fixing potholes. VAR.
Yes.
And drivers who park like this.
Yeah.
To Britain, we must say, have you had your Weetabix?
I bought cars on finance, so I've made my claim.
If our lenders charge hidden commissions, then I've made my claim.
I could be on thousands.
I've made my claim.
I've made my claim.
I've made my claim.
I've made my claim. It's so quick and simple.
You could be owed thousands in hidden commissions from vehicles bought on finance since 2007, even without the details.
I've made my claim.
Trust myclaimgroup.co.uk.
Claims made simple.
जब मेहमान नवाजी में कोई कसर बाकी ना हो, तब जान लो घर में आज दावत है, दावत. Bring out your finest.
Don't miss Sharp's half-price spring savings. Get Sharp's bespoke fitted furniture for every room, from living spaces to home offices and bedrooms. Many ranges are now half-price, including our must-have Manhattan range. Our exclusive Space Plus system means we won't be beaten on space. Plus, you get our 15-year guarantee for total peace of mind. Our half-price spring savings end Bank Holiday Monday. Book your free home design visit today at sharps.co.uk.
It feels good knowing that your future's in hand. Evlo can offer you a loan from £1,000 to £15,000. Get your conditional decision in minutes.
दावत. जब दिल में थोड़ी बेकरारी और ढेर सारा प्यार हो, कुछ खास करने का अरमान हो, किसी अपने के आने का पैगाम हो, जब केसर ज़ाफ़रान से ज़्यादा छोटी-छोटी कोशिशों से घर महका हो, मेज पर खाने से ज़्यादा बनाने वाले का दिल सजा हो, जब मेहमान नवाजी में कोई कसर बाकी ना हो, तब जान लो घर में आज दावत है, दावत. Bring out your finest.
Ladies and gentlemen, we found the reason why Britain hasn't been so great of late.
It's because the country hasn't been eating enough Weetabix.
It makes sense. I've been eating croissants.
Me too. We should deliver Weetabix to where it's needed most, to whoever's in charge of fixing potholes. VAR.
Yes.
And drivers who park like this.
Yeah.
To Britain, we must say, have you had your Weetabix?
If your garage looks like this, you need Tougher Man. A leading supplier of shelving for your home or business. Assembly is quick, easy and boltless. Buy one bay from just $59.99, or you can get 3 bays from only $119.99, saving you nearly £60. Plus you get a 5-year Storelex steel guarantee. Order now at tougherman.co.uk.
In today's interconnected world, India's voice is more crucial than ever. When India speaks, the world listens. At NDTV World, we are that voice, bringing you intelligent and insightful news from India and beyond. From geopolitics and diplomacy to economic shifts, migrations, tech disruptions, and the stories of our diaspora. We cover the news that shapes our global future. NDTV World, your new home for global news, is here.
Hello and welcome to Fault Lines on NDTV World. I'm Gauri Dwivedi. This is the show where we decode the truth behind the headlines and beyond the divide. Today, Israel expands its operations into Gaza, while Donald Trump skips Jerusalem and woos Arab leaders. What does that mean? What's the fault line? We decode that for you. And later, we look at why militia leaders are, in fact, ensuring that they push Africa's Libya further into yet another civil turmoil. Both these stories that will expose the fault lines. Now to our first story.